Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca, and today we are going to talk about Serena Williams. Now, Serena Williams recently announced her retirement from tennis at the age of 40, and Vogue did an entire spread on her life as a mother, her next chapter in life, and all the above. And I wanted to highlight this article because Serena Williams talks about if she was a man and how this would play out if she was a man and how oppressed she is being a woman. So we're going to get into that. But before we jump into it, guys, please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe down below. I'm on the road to 100,000 subscribers and I would love to have you here on this channel with me. And I opened up channel membership, so hit the link in the description down below and let's jump into this article. All right, so the title of this article says Serena Williams says farewell to tennis on her terms and in her own words. So we already know how this is going to go, but let's jump into the meat of this. So it reads, this morning, my daughter Olympia, who turns 5 this month, and I were on our way to get her a new passport before a trip to Europe. The privilege already. This kid has been jet setting since before she was born. We're in my car and she's holding my phone using an interactive educational app she likes. Okay. This robot voice asks her a question. What do you want to be when you grow up? She doesn't know I'm listening, but I can hear the answer she whispers into the phone. She says, I want to be a big sister. Olympia says this a lot, even when she knows I'm listening. Sometimes before bed, she prays to Jehovah. You couldn't just say God. Okay. She prays to Jehovah to bring her a baby sister. She doesn't want anything to do with a boy. I'm the youngest of 5 sisters myself, and my sisters are my heroes. So this felt like a moment I need to listen very carefully to. Believe me, I've never wanted to choose between tennis and a family. I don't think it's fair. If I were a guy, I wouldn't be writing this because I'd be out there playing and winning while my wife was doing the physical labor of expanding our family. Okay, I'm going to get back to that. Just finish reading this paragraph. Maybe I'd be more like Tom Brady if I had that opportunity. Don't get me wrong. I love being a woman and I loved every second of being pregnant with Olympia. I was one of those annoying women who adored being pregnant and was working until the day I had to report to the hospital. Although things got super complicated on the other side, and I almost did do the impossible. A lot of people don't realize that I was 2 months pregnant when I won the Australian Open in 2017. But I'm turning 41 this month and something's got to give. So this paragraph is just filled with contradictions and this really is telling of a woman's mind. This is a really good depiction of it. Okay. On one hand, she's saying, well, if I was a dude, I would just be playing tennis and not worrying about this. And my wife would be doing the physical labor of expanding our family. You mean carrying and delivering your children? Because that's what women do. That's what our bodies were designed to do. That physical labor. And then on the other hand, she says, well, I was one of those annoying women who love being pregnant and I love being a woman. So wait, are you burdened by being a woman because you would rather be playing tennis instead of doing the physical labor of expanding your family? But then 2 seconds later, you're just so grateful to be a woman. And then she throws in a humble brag at the end. Oh, yeah, people didn't notice that I was 2 months pregnant when I won the Australian Open. Okay, Serena, baby, you're retiring because you're 41. John McEnroe retired at 46. Okay, so you're not too far from that. And by that time, a lot of injuries happen in tennis. You can tear your knee, There's a lot of sliding on clay if you're playing on clay a lot. I know this because I was a former tennis player. I was actually pretty good. I was sponsored when I was really young, and I've jacked up my knees so many times just from sliding on clay, all of that stuff, right? So it's the wear and tear on your body at the age of 41. You have so many Grand Slam titles. I think she has like the world record for Grand Slam titles for a woman. Like, relax. You made your mark on tennis. You are the GOAT. Okay. Just retire. Like, go away. Like the rest of these tennis players that we have no idea who they are anymore. That's what people do. They retire, they get endorsements on the way out. You have nothing to worry about. You're a multimillionaire, and your husband, who is the former founder of Reddit, you guys are not struggling with money. Okay. And also, if she wanted to continue to play tennis, she could, because, okay, you're 41, you're turning 41. It's probably going to be a little bit difficult to have a baby, especially in the timing that you want to. And a lot of women, you see the Kardashians, they have surrogates all over the place. She has the money and the means and the esteem to get a surrogate if she wanted to. And so she could continue to play tennis. But I think there's a lot more that we don't know about this. Anyway, I've never liked the word retirement. It doesn't feel like a modern word to me. Well, there you go, guys. She's a modern woman living in a modern world, and she doesn't like this old word of retirement. Okay. She says it doesn't feel modern to me. All right, Serena. I've been thinking of this as a transition, but I want to be sensitive in how I use that word, which means something very specific and important to a community of people. So, of course, she has to pander to the LGBTQ plus IA minus divided sign like community, because she doesn't want to appropriate the word transition. Okay. Maybe the best word to describe what I'm up to is an evolution. All right. I'm here to tell you that I'm evolving away from tennis toward other things that are important to me. A few years ago, I quietly started Serena Ventures, a venture capital firm. Soon after that, I started a family. I want to grow that family. But I've been reluctant to admit to myself or anyone else that I have to move on from playing tennis. Alexis, my husband, and I have hardly talked about it. It's like a taboo topic. I can't even have this conversation with my mom and my dad. I wanted to touch on this really quickly before moving on. The fact that she can't even talk to her husband or her family members about her desire to move on from tennis and continuing to grow her family is bizarre to me. That's what your husband is there for, to have these conversations with, so that you can get his opinion on these things. It doesn't sound like she's talking to anyone else other than her therapist, which I think is a good thing. Therapy is really good, but you're not having these conversations with your husband. I don't know. That's kind of a red flag to me. Earlier in my career, I never thought about having kids. There were times where I wondered if I should ever bring kids into this world with all its problems. I was never that confident or comfortable around babies or children, and I figured that if I ever did have a baby, I would have people taking care of it 24/7. I am not going to lie, I definitely have a lot of support. Yeah, you have a team of nannies that go with you everywhere. If you are playing tennis at the level Serena Williams plays tennis, of course you're going to have help. Of course you're going to have nannies. Of course you're going to have a team of people that go with you everywhere to take care of your family. What This is not shocking. And that's the thing. She could continue to do this if she wanted another baby, and she has the means to do it. She is not broke by any means. Neither is her husband. I'm not going to lie, I definitely have support. But I am also incredibly hands-on mother. That's a great thing. My husband will tell you that I'm too hands-on. In 5 years, Olympia has only spent one 24-hour period away from me. This past year, while I was recovering from my hamstring injury, I got to pick her up from school 4 or 5 days out of the week, and I always look forward to seeing her face light up when she walked out of the building and saw me waiting there for her. The fact is that nothing is a sacrifice for me when it comes to Olympia. It all makes sense. I want to teach her how to tie her shoes, how to read, where babies come from, and about God, just like my mom taught me. And as she grows, it's something different every month. Lately, she's been into watching baking shows, which we do together. Now we bake with Play Doh, which is so much fun. She loves this game called The Floor is Lava, where you have to do whatever you can to avoid touching the ground. I love setting up the gym for the game, arranging my step up boxes and weight machines like an obstacle course. Whatever she likes, I like. It's really cool to see that she is an amazing mom to her daughter Olympia. I'm sure she's an amazing mom, but she definitely has help, and that's okay. I think all moms need support in some capacity. She's just a rich celebrity tennis player who can afford the help that she needs, right? The entire issue that I have with this article isn't the fact that, this woman is stinking rich and she can probably have 5 children with 5 different surrogates, right? And she could have a team of people surrounding her to take care of her kids. And she could possibly play tennis until she breaks a leg or I don't know, whatever. Because when you have this amount of money, you can do whatever you want. She could extend her career if she wanted to. But when you get to Serena Williams' age, 41, you're not going to play at the same level. And eventually she's going to start losing. And I think that Serena wanted to end on a high note, which is completely fine. That's what most players do. They end with a Super Bowl win, or they end with a Grand Slam, or they end up with rings, whatever. They want to end on a high note. And I think that she knows that her time is coming up. And so she kind of wants to nip it in the bud. But to blame your biology, to blame being a woman, and that's why, because you have to physically grow your family yourself, you're the one who has to incur the labor and all that stuff. Like, that's a bunch of BS. Like, blaming the patriarchy, who are you taking this up with? Are you taking it up with God, who made you a woman instead of a dude? Like, what's the end goal here? Why even make that statement? I don't get it. Oh, you're so oppressed for being a woman, and if you were a man, this wouldn't be an issue. You would be playing while your wife is making the babies? If that's what you want, I mean, just freaking get a surrogate. You have the money to do it. That's my commentary on this. I just found it very interesting that Serena Williams is blaming her biology for the fact that she has to retire when in fact she's just 41, and it's around the time that most tennis players retire. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm excited to read some of these comments. And if you guys like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps me in the algorithm. Subscribe down below. And if you guys want to be a member of the channel, check the description down below for that link. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.